I used to believe words faded once spoken. That night proved me wrong. It started with something trivial, something meaningless. A minor fight over the broken dryer, or maybe the bills. I can't even recall anymore, because what came next changed the way my husband saw me forever. Mark was never the man to raise his voice. He carried a calm steadiness, like he'd made peace with the world long ago and didn't need to fight it. Maybe that serenity had begun to look like apathy to me. I confused composure for disinterest, quiet for weakness. That night, exhaustion hung over me like fog. Work had drained every ounce of patience. I came home to dishes in the sink, laundry half done. He was on the couch, scrolling his phone, wearing that same gray t-shirt he always wore after work. Something inside me cracked. "Do you ever actually do anything around here?" I snapped. "You're so damn useless, Mark. No wonder nothing works." He didn't answer, just lifted his gaze. Those calm blue eyes meeting mine. That silence, it burned worse than shouting. And because I couldn't stand it, I went lower. Much lower. I said something vile. Something unforgivable. "At least be good at something," I spat. "Because you sure as hell aren't much of a man otherwise." The instant those words left my lips, the air changed. Something unseen shattered between us. His jaw tightened, his eyes flickered just once, and the silence that followed was colder than rage. He stood, walked past me, and said one word. "Noted." That was it. No anger, no fight. Just finality. The next morning, he didn't make coffee. Didn't kiss my forehead. No jokes about the traffic, no quiet hum in the kitchen. He simply left. And that night, he didn't sit beside me. He ate at the far end of the table, cleaned his plate, and went to bed. Before I could say a word, I told myself he'd cool off, like always. But he didn't. Days blurred into weeks, and his silence turned into a wall I couldn't climb. He spoke only when necessary: bills, errands, schedules. Never anything more. No teasing, no warmth, no lingering glance. He was present but not with me, like living with the ghost of the man I loved. One night, I tried to apologize. My voice trembled. "Mark, I didn't mean it. I was angry." He looked up from the sink, water sliding between his fingers. "You did mean it," he said softly. "You just wish you hadn't said it." It stung because it was true. Since that night, he's different. Not cruel. Not bitter. Just gone. He still goes to work, pays bills, fixes what breaks. But the us that once existed isn't there anymore. Sometimes I catch him staring out the window, eyes distant, somewhere I can't reach. Sometimes he sits on the porch with a beer, expression blank, unreadable. One I used to mistake for anger. Now I see it for what it is: loss. He lost something that night, and so did I. I thought time could fix it, that gestures or affection would rebuild what broke. But there's a difference between forgiving and forgetting. And Mark, he's courteous now, even gentle. But the love that once lived behind his eyes is gone. I mocked his manhood in a moment of spite, and he took back the kind of love I thought would never end. It's strange how emptiness can start to feel normal. After a while, you stop expecting laughter at dinner, or warmth when you reach across the bed. Silence becomes the routine. Months passed, and the house that once echoed with conversation now buzzed with everything unsaid. Mark still did everything right. Fixed the gutters, shoveled snow, picked up groceries when I forgot, but never looked at me. I tried his favorite meal, notes on his mug, the perfume he loved. Nothing reached him. The harder I tried, the further he drifted. One night, I couldn't take it anymore. "Mark," I whispered, my voice breaking. "How long are you going to punish me?" He turned, calm as ever. "I'm not punishing you, Claire," he said quietly. "Punishing you, Claire," he said softly. "I just don't trust you with the parts of me you mocked." That line split me open. He wasn't talking about his body, he meant his confidence, his sense of being valued, admired, seen. I'd belittled the very things he'd once carried with quiet pride. And now no apology in the world could rebuild what I'd shattered in a single, thoughtless moment. After that night, something inside me shifted. I stopped forcing things back to the way they were. Instead, I started really seeing him, the silent ways he still cared. Filling my car's tank before I noticed it was low, pausing at the bedroom door as if offering me the first word. He wasn't bitter. He wasn't cruel. He'd simply stopped giving more than he received. There's a special kind of ache in realizing you've become the villain in someone else's story, especially when that someone once looked at you like you were their whole sky. One afternoon, I came home early. He was in the garage, sanding down an old wooden chair. His hands were steady, his expression calm. For a fleeting second, I saw the man I fell in love with. The builder, the fixer, the one who made order from chaos. "Mark," I asked quietly, "do you think we could ever get back what we lost?" He didn't look up. You can't unbreak something by pretending it was never cracked. I didn't argue. I already knew he was right. That night, I lay awake replaying every argument, every time I'd fought to win instead of to understand. Somewhere along the way, love had turned into a contest, and I'd been too proud to notice. The next morning, I left a letter on his desk. Not a plea for forgiveness, not a defense, just truth. I wrote, "I mocked you because I was angry at myself. I tried to destroy the one thing you never used against me, your quiet dignity, just to feel powerful. You never yelled. You never retaliated. You just walked away inside yourself. And I see it now. I made home feel unsafe for you." That evening when I came home, the letter was gone. He never mentioned it. But later that night, as I turned off the lights, I felt his hand brush against mine under the covers. It was faint, cautious, but real. He didn't speak, and neither did I. Still, that small gesture felt like a truce. Not forgiveness. Not love rekindled. Just the fragile understanding that both of us still wanted peace. Now, months later, things are quieter, softer. We speak with care. We listen more. We're rebuilding, but without pretending. He's still reserved, still distant sometimes. And maybe that distance will never fully fade. Maybe that's the price of words thrown like blades. But I've learned something I wish I'd known sooner. A man's strength isn't loud or forceful. It's in the quiet way he holds his dignity, even when broken. And when you wound that kind of strength, it doesn't always return. Sometimes it just learns to survive without you.